Wait a minute. You love me so much.
No.
Does that mean I'm going to be deported? Just asking. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have to apologize to start off because I have to throw these little sheets down here. It's not professional, but I have been writing jokes all day, and there's so many floating around in my head, I'm panicking that I'm going to screw it up. Now, is that professional? No, that's honest. Sometimes honesty will get you over. That's what I've been told. So, are we ready to get started with the show?
Yeah.
You want me to tell you something funny?
Yeah.
No, I decided I'm going to take a different approach. First part of my show is going to be, you ready for this? Educational. Like Discovery Channel. Like the History Channel. First, let's survey our audience. How many people out there have children? Okay, let's make it easy on you. How many out there were children? Okay, you shouldn't have to stop and think about that one over there. Okay? I'm sure if we put you in a sandbox, it'll all come back to you. Now, so the beginning of the show, for me, I'm going to focus on what I'm going to call the parenting workshop. If you have kids, here's the educational portion. If you were a kid, you may have flashbacks. Now, with my kids, we had a family whistle. And it went something like, wait 3 seconds. Now, why did I do it that way? Because the first one was to get their attention. 3 second delay. The second one was for them to get direction. Their instructions, whatever the hell you're doing, you stop it and come to daddy. Now, some people thought it was kind of funny, you know, I said I was training my kids like dogs, but let me give you a couple scenarios where that shit really came in handy. I got my mother, I got the kids, we got tickets to the White House. Yeah, that one. I dropped them off, go park the car. Seemed like 6 months later, I come back, I can't find my kids or my mother anywhere in this line. I've shown pictures to security, I've asked around, nobody knows, you know, where my kids are. So what do? I step back. And I just stand there. Everybody's staring at me, including the security guy, you know, terrorist thing. He's reaching. All of a sudden, this is what happens. Around the corner, woof, woof, woof. All three of them, boom, boom, boom. Daddy! And say, hey, where you guys? How you guys doing? Where's grandma? Oh, she's around the corner. So I go around the corner, get with my mom. As we come around the corner, she's got this look on her face. I'm like, Mom, what's going on? What's wrong? Joe, I was sitting here talking to the kids. We were just having a casual conversation. And then all three of them froze at the same time and just took off. And I thought, oh, fuck, Joe is going to kill me. I've lost the kids in the middle of D.C. But here's the thing. They did exactly what they were trained to do. How did I get them to do it? It was easy. I beat them while they were young. It was pretty simple. We're on a flight, going back to the United States. Just me and the kids, the three kids. Youngest is like 4 years old, oldest is 8. We're having a nice flight. The guy behind us, who's been playing with my son and drawing with my daughter, he comes to me just before landing and he says, you know, Joe, when you got on the plane without your wife, I thought this was going to be the flight from hell. But I have to say, I've met your kids. They're very polite. They're well-mannered. I don't have kids yet, but I have to ask you, how do you do it? How do I do it? It's easy. I beat them while they were young. I'm not telling you need to beat your kids. I'm just saying you need to take responsibility for your children out there. Another thing we had was family sign language. I'm at a PTA meeting. They have a little play area for the kids, of course, because I've always been afraid I'm going to lose one. Since the first one was born, I've been afraid I'm going to lose one. So my eye is watching the play area, and I noticed my son trying to open the knob to the back door. So what do? I get my daughter's attention. She nods. She goes and gets her brother. One of the parents saw me. Said, what were you doing? I saw you look to your daughter. Oh, my son was trying to go out the back door, and I told his sister, hey, you need to keep an eye on your little brother. He's trying to get away. And she's like, oh, and they understood that? Of course they do. Well, how did you get her to understand that? Easy. I beat them while they were young. I mean, don't play around. That's the thing. I mean, okay, let's fast forward. That's when they were young. Now, my children are grown adults. My oldest is 27 years old. I was back home this summer. We're all out at the flea market. I looked around, and I'm missing kids. Well, adults. So what did I do? My daughter left her husband. They were standing in the hot dog line. She didn't tell me. He tells me later, he says, I turned around to her. So honey, what do you want? Where'd she go? Where'd she go? How do you get her to, I can't get her to answer to her name sometimes. How do you get her to just answer to a whistle? You really want to know? Do you really? Okay. I beat them while they were young. They still understand. But here's the thing. When you raise children, you gotta love them, you gotta be firm, but you also, the important thing, make everything fun. You can train them and make it fun at the same time. That's the best thing I can say about that. Now, I've had some adults question me on this whistling to your kids. One lady tells me, it's inhumane. You're training your children like you're training dogs. I said, well, let me ask you a question. How do you find your kids in the middle of the park? I mean, okay, yeah, sometimes I call the kids and 3 of the neighbors' dogs come also, but I don't care. As long as my kids show up. That's the only thing I'm concerned with. Now with children, because we had a show of hands of people that had children, you must know that once you have that bundle of joy come into your life, there's also another person that comes attached to it. And that's the wife / mother. Now, I'm not complaining about them. Everybody has a child. You got one of those, a mother or a wife. Depends on how things went in the beginning. I'm not asking. I'm not judging. Okay? But once you have that wife / mother, things change. It's not just the kids. Guys, you start to learn a whole lot more about shopping. Actually, as men, we don't know shit about shopping. I've gone shopping with my woman, and she told me when we left that she needs to buy some shoes. I'm like, okay, that shouldn't take long. We'll just go right to the shoe store. They got everything you need. 2 hours later, I'm still looking at refrigerators, and I don't fucking understand. I'm like, honey, this is too big for your feet. What are you gonna do with this? Oh, no, we might need it later. Refrigerators last like 10 years. You know, what do you mean we might need it later? I don't understand. I've tried to wrap my head around it. And the thing is, for guys, I've discovered what the problem is. Ladies, we're handicapped when it comes to shopping. And I've discovered what it is. All men, okay, 95% of us, we are what I call third eye blind. What that means is, when you hold up that blue shirt and ask us how it looks with your black pants, we have no idea what you're talking about. None. We go through the furniture store and you have that question, hey honey, how do you think this lamp would look in our living room? And we have to think, then we come up with the answer, boom! You know, we would have a lot more light if we had that lamp. We don't know what the hell you're talking about. But the thing is, women can shop just because. They get together and go shopping because they can't think of anything else to do. Guys, you know, we'll go biking, you know, we go up quad bike. We're more action people. But here's the thing. When your woman goes out with her women, you know they don't have any money. They've spent the whole day at the mall shopping and come back with a pack of gum. You think you got over. Wrong answer. Completely wrong answer. They were just pre-shopping until you got your next paycheck. When you get paid, she knows exactly where your money is going. You're counting it, and she's counting it with you. You're not going to keep that, right? We already know that you're not going to keep that. But the thing, women like shopping so much that they do it at some of the most inopportune times. They'll like mini shop. That's what I'm going to call it, mini shop. You take your woman to a nice restaurant, You look at the menu once. You know exactly what you want. Yeah, I'm going to have the ribeye steak with the jacketed potatoes on the side, fresh squeezed orange juice, and maybe a little onion rings on the side, right? Your woman, she's going through the menu for the 5th time. What is she doing? Is she making up her mind? No, she didn't shop today. So she's just shopping. She already knows what she wants. She just wanted to shop because she might change her mind. Then she places the order. Yes, I'm going to have the chicken breasts. And as soon as the guy walks off, she turns to you and says, man, this shrimp looks so good. I can't wait to taste it. And we're like, okay, all right. Okay, maybe that's chicken of the sea. I don't know. But it's one of those things that we kind of have to get used to. You've all seen that women could spend the whole day. Okay, wait a minute. Am I talking too much about women? Okay, then let's talk about men. Okay? I'm going to help you. In fact, I have a design plan for you ladies that once I have a couple investors, I'm going to make your shopping so much easier, so peaceful. You can even take your man with you. What we're going to do under the company Titan Events, we're going to open up man parking. What? Nobody's excited about that? Man park. Okay, let me explain it. We'll go down to the mall. We're going to open up a shop. We're going to put up a sign that says man parking. So, ladies, when you get ready to go shopping, you bring your man on over to us. You come see our receptionist. Yes, I'm going to be shopping. I'd like to drop off my man. Okay, ma'am. And how long will you be shopping? Oh, 3 or 4 hours or so. So they put a hat on us with a number and send us in with the back. Send us in the back with the rest of them. Now, when you get back there, there's like internet TV, every sports magazine you could possibly want. There is another little room. And when you peek in there, there's a little stage with a brass pole and a sign that says next show 5 minutes. So next week, ladies, when you get ready to go shopping and you ask your husband, hey, Hamoud, I want you to come shopping with me. We're going down to City Center. Ooh, really? Okay, let me get my stuff. Do you have any ones? Just a couple ones. I'm a little short. He calls up his friends. Hey, Mubarak, meet me at Chili's in 30 minutes. We're going to man parking. Ooh, my brother. And they're ready to go. But here's the thing. I don't know why anybody else hasn't thought of it. You've got a place to leave your car. You've got a place to leave your kids. Nobody's thinking about us. We don't want to be there, especially when it involves clothes. When it involves clothes, it's designed. The store layout is designed on purpose to punish men like us. Why do I say that? Because the ladies' dressing room, for some reason, in most stores, is always sitting right in the panty section. Now, we can't go in the dressing room. We got to stay out there and wait for our woman because we got to tell her what we think. So what happens when our friends come along? You see Joe standing in the panty section, staring at the ceiling. You know, I like these tiles. They put a lot of work and detail into those tiles. Once your neck gets tired, this is beautiful tile they have on the floor. I'm thinking about doing my garage in this. But the worst thing you could possibly do is look at the panties. Now, I've suffered through it. I've been married. I've survived through that. I've learned how to handle it, be in touch with my manly man side. So when guys walk along and I'm holding my wife's purse and standing in the panty section, the first thing I do, drop the purse and tie my shoes. I'm good to go after that. But here's the thing. We're going to venture on just a little bit further, and we're going to talk about another section that I'm going to call Caught in the Act. But it wasn't me. 30% of the time, it wasn't us. We did not do anything wrong, ladies. That's 3 out of 10 times you're punishing a man for something he has no idea what you're talking about. Case in point, I'm downtown with my wife. Of course, it was a different country. This very fine ass girl with curly brown hair, ass like J-Lo, hazel eyes, and cocoa butter skin. She was the hottest thing within 100 meters of us. Why is she staring at me? I don't know. But she's staring so hard that my wife caught on to it. And she turns around to me. Innocent me. She turns around to me, and you know what she had the nerve to say? Joe, why is that girl staring at you? My answer? What girl? The one over there by the fountain. Oh, you mean that ugly girl? Come on now, Joe. I know what you like. Then she doesn't look like you. No, tell me, Joe. Why is she staring at you? I don't know that girl. I've never seen that girl in my life. I don't know her at all. And then here comes the one question that you know your ass is in trouble and ain't a damn thing you can do about it. If you tell me now, you won't be in trouble. What if I don't have anything to tell you? That's the thing. And these scenarios happen to guys, innocent guys that are just trying to do the right thing. That's what we're trying to do. Be good to our woman. And we still get caught up in things like, a woman goes down to the laundry, picks up the stuff out of the dryer, brings it up to our apartment, and she's folding the laundry. We have our task assigned. I take care of the car, she takes care of laundry and dishes. We're getting along just good. So what happens? She pulls up a black thong. And you guys, I can already see grins out there. She knows it's not hers. So she asked me, Joseph, and you know you're in trouble when she says, and when it's not honey, the only thing worse is when she says Joseph Thomas Sims Jr. Then I gotta go, I got a meeting. She holds it up, Joseph, where did this come from? Whose is this? I'm looking at her dead in the face, and I want to challenge her, buff up, be a man. You know what I told her? They're mine. They're mine. Okay, my secret's out. Because that was the only way I could get out of it without getting in trouble. If I said anything else, that was going to be my ass. But once I said that, oh, why didn't you tell me? All this time we've been talking about all these different things and you never brought that up. Well, honey, you know, I've been kind of in touch with my feminine side and I just didn't think you would be able to accept me. So what did she say? You know, I love you for all that you are. And I'm thinking, shit, I should have put those in there myself. Let somebody else's underwear end up in my apartment and now I'm happy. Let's just say happy. So remember, ladies, 30% of the time, we didn't do it. Okay? Now, since we're on relationships, I got a little bit of other discoveries. We're going to still do the educational thing. Guys, how many times have you gotten into an argument or discussion with your girls and you knew you lost in the first 3 words? There was no recovery for you. Do you know why that happens? I'm going to explain it to you. Men and women are fundamentally different. We think differently. Men, we think in pictures. Girls, if you ever noticed your guy talking to his guy friend, it seems like they're talking in half-completed sentences. They're not really finishing the topic before they move on to something else. That's because we're not talking. We're transmitting pictures to each other. Once he has the picture, I don't need to say anymore. If I say, yeah, I was going to that car place, you want one over there by the Lulu's? Yeah. Once he says, yeah, picture received. I can move on. That's why it sounds confusing to you guys. Now, on the ladies' side, ladies are very detail-oriented. They don't think in pictures, which is why they're navigationally challenged. They think in text. That means that when you talk to your woman, it's like talking to a typewriter because she's seeing the words appear. Punctuation. This is what's happening. So, when she asks you, were you with that girl at the bar last night? What do? We step back, pull up the picture. We look at it. She was at the bar, but she was not sitting with me. Now, fast forward last week. She asked you the same question. When we answer, it's a slightly different answer. And what she's going to say to you is, that's not what you said last week. Here's the problem. We don't know what we said last week. All we have is the picture. And the Chinese proverb says, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Okay, we only used 100. One of those other 900 words would have saved our ass in this conversation. This is the reason we're pretty much always going to lose when it comes to conversations, arguments, or discussions with women, right? Now, we love you guys because we don't have much other choice. Well, there is a choice, but it's not an option. For me, I'm saying, right? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, how much time have I had? Is it time for me to... I got more? No? I got to get off? Yeah? Just tell me. Because I can go. We can talk about Oman. 5 minutes. Okay. You ready for some other ones? I'm going to walk on the wild side now and talk about the Middle East. Now, here's the thing. I've been here a long time. A really long time. 12 years. You know how I discovered I'd been here too long? When I started to acquire a buy-a-vision. Let me try that again. A buy-a-vision. Nobody knows what I'm talking about? Let me explain it to you. You've been here too long when you look at an abaya and you start to connect the lumps to just figure out what's underneath. That tells you you've been here too long. When you look at an abaya and you say stuff like, ooh, that's really nice embroidery she has around her sleeve. You've been here too long. Another clue that you've been here too long is when you think taxis have the right of way. When you start pulling over for a taxi, you've been here too long. It might be time for you to take a vacation. Move on off somewhere else. Come back a little bit later. Now, for me, I have the advantage and the curse that I look Zanzibari Omani. How do I know? Because for 12 years, at least once a week, somebody comes up to me speaking Arabic. And the best line I could come up with, is there subtitles with that? Because I don't understand it. But people have also told me that, you know, Joel, you sure you don't have any Omani in you? I was like, well, I don't know. But we started talking about it, and I came up with a plan. I think I want to buy a freaking boatload of distachas and sell them to the military. Boy, you guys, I have to explain everything, huh? Okay, the militaries around the world, they spend years developing new camouflage patterns, uniforms, or suspenders to hold a first aid kit, the water, grenades, ammo, and a whole bunch of other stuff, you know, holding on your body. But here's the thing. If you just slip on a distacha, it's like urban camouflage. You disappear immediately, in plain sight. It's like the Harry Potter invisibility cloak. If I put on a distacha and a kuma right now, you wouldn't even see the stage. But here's the thing. If I were military and that was my military uniform, guess what? I got the storage of a 74 Cadillac trunk underneath there. It's things like, come across a guy, got a flat tire. You need a new tire? Really? What size is that? 22s on spinny rims? Hold on. Okay, I got those in stock, but I only sell them in pairs. You gotta buy two. Okay, here you go. You never know what you're gonna find under there. You got so much space, that's the thing. And the funny thing is, you know, living here for so long, I've had so many good experiences, and I've also had experiences that just make you scratch your head and say, what? I'm in Salalah during Desert Storm. In the bar with my white-haired boss guy from the States visiting, and there's a guy at the end of the bar. I don't know him. It's afternoon. I don't even know why he's in the bar. But the guy is watching the coverage on TV, and he gets all worked up. Hearing me speak English, he realizes I'm American. Yeah, that's where it all started. I'm American. So he comes over to the bar, he comes over to me and he says, you're Georgie Bush. He sends your military to my country to kill women and children. And I'm looking at him, I look over at my boss who's like sitting there, I'm gonna die, right? I'm like, okay, I gotta diffuse this situation. Okay. So I reach in my pocket and I pull out my cell phone and I show it to him. I said, you know what? This is the second time he's done this shit without calling me. And I slap it down in the bar. And he's like, have you ever been working on your computer, you really got something to get done, and it freezes up on you? Okay, that's what happened. The guy's like all worked, like, I'm like, dude, I only got the passport, okay? They don't ask me shit. They don't call me. He's got my number. They don't call me. NSA got everybody's number. If the president said, hey, get Joe Sims on the phone, first question they're going to ask him, which one? All of them are in the Rolodex. NSA's got everybody's number. Don't think you're safe talking on your phone either. They've already proven that. Drug dealers, well, drug use has gone down. Why? Because they're texting each other. NSA is sitting there passing it on to the local police. Everything's just happening. You know what? I'm going to leave NSA alone. Because they might be listening. Who knows? All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's my time. Hope you enjoyed the show. My name is Joseph Sims. I'll tell you a secret. I didn't even use these, and I went completely off the program. Completely. All right, I'm going to pass this back over to our MC and let her get you whipped up for the next comedian.